Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. At Tuesday's Corpus Christi City Council meeting, officials voted to enhance the city's infrastructure by approving construction contracts totaling $35 million. These contracts, awarded to 3 local contractors, will fund the repaving of 27 miles of residential streets. The City of Corpus Christi's Public Works Department will oversee the project's execution. City Council also approved the acceptance of over $15 million from the Texas General Land Office's Community Development Block Grants for Mitigation Program. The funding will support improvements at the Greenwood and Oso wastewater treatment plants. The grant does not require a city match. The funding is designated for flooding mitigation at the Greenwood wastewater treatment plant and the installation of emergency generators at both the Greenwood and Oso facilities. Construction is anticipated to begin next year and be completed in 2027. Governor Greg Abbott has appointed El Campo's Steve Cooper as chair of the Lower Colorado River Authority Board. The LCRA supports communities and economic development in the Lower Colorado River Basin by delivering electricity, managing water supply and environmental resources, and providing public recreation areas. Cooper serves as president of the West Wharton County Hospital District and is active in several Texas A&M University organizations. Cooper's term will expire at the governor's discretion. The appointments are subject to Senate confirmation. If you happen to see green smoke and a lot of first responders near the O.N. Stevens water treatment plant yesterday morning, don't worry, it was not an emergency. Corpus Christi Water and Area first responders were conducting a routine hazmat drill. KEDT's Emily Salazar has the details.
Copies. 1 victim down. I will also need notification to the ARC for them to shelter in place.
On Tuesday, Corpus Christi Fire Department, Annaville Fire Department, and Corpus Christi Water staged a multi-agency drill to train both first responders and Owen Stevens staff on what to do in the event of a chemical leak at the plant. Green smoke was used to simulate chlorine gas, and responders even staged a man-down scenario, acting as though a plant worker had discovered the leak and was affected by the gas. Program manager for the City of Corpus Christi, Nueces County Local Emergency Planning Committee, Joanne Salgi, said drills like this one are essential, especially in a county where hazardous chemicals are routinely transported.
We're one of the 3 communities in the state of Texas that does have heavy industry, a lot of refining entities, pipelines, rail, all of those things. So all of these are very, very important that we know how to respond to each type of event and location.
Corpus Christi Fire Department Assistant Chief Robin McGill explained how the response to a hazmat call is different from a firefighter's typical structure fire.
With a hazmat call, it's a little bit more complex situation because you're typically dealing with, thousands of different gases. So you have to come out and figure out what you're working with first, and then that kind of drives your decisions on how you're going to protect the community, how you're going to go about stopping the hazardous incident.
According to Salgi, CCFD conducts drills with other local agencies that regularly handle chemicals throughout the year. For KEDT News, I'm Emily Salazar.
Last night, the Calhoun County ISD Board voted during a special meeting to seek more information about a proposed tax break for ExxonMobil. The proposed tax incentive, worth more than $248 million, is tied to ExxonMobil's plan to build a petrochemical plant in the area. Residents at the meeting voiced concerns about water pollution. The district will collect data and hold additional public forums in the future. The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley confirmed that the government restored the terminated records for 9 international students who had their visas revoked. UTRGV officials said the records were reactivated on Monday. Immigration and Customs Enforcement reversed the termination this past Friday. The decision came after several lawsuits were filed across the nation over the visa terminations. One lawsuit was filed by 4 UTRGV students. These students had been ordered to leave the country back on April 10th. The 9 students were among hundreds in the state to have their legal status changed from the Student and Exchange Visitor Information System database. It was previously reported that 9 Texas A&M Kingsville students were also affected by the status change earlier this month. In state news, the Mexican government says it'll deliver more water to South Texas farmers who've been experiencing severe drought. As the Texas Newsroom's Lucio Vasquez reports, it's the latest in an ongoing dispute between the U.S. and Mexico over an 81-year-old water-sharing treaty.
Mexico will now be required to increase water deliveries through October. The country is required to share water with the U.S. under the 1944 Water Treaty. But as of late last year, Mexico had only delivered less than 30% of the required water. This has caused South Texas farmers to struggle through a water crisis, made worse due to ongoing drought conditions. But now, under the new agreement, Mexico will deliver nearly as much water in the next 6 months than it has previously delivered over the last 4 years. This comes after President Donald Trump threatened new tariffs and sanctions against Mexico if the country continued to not meet its obligations. I'm Luciel Vasquez in Houston.
The Texas House has advanced a bill to a third reading that would allow housing developers to skip getting a government inspection. The goal is to speed up the process of building more housing. It passed on a 74-69 vote. The Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey says those against the idea believe it will intensify environmental concerns already raised in some communities.
When homes and apartments are built, building codes must be followed, and usually the county or city does inspections to make sure developers are complying. Some Texas lawmakers believe that's getting in the way of building much-needed housing. But others, like Republican Representative Shelley Luther, say the bill gives developers too much leniency. And Democratic Representative Vicki Goodwin says her district's already seeing that.
In Bee Cave, construction is underway on a massive warehouse development, the West Austin Business Park, adjacent to residential neighborhood. Residents have spent months raising concerns about noise, traffic, light pollution, and environmental impacts.
With House Bill 23's passage, Goodwin thinks these situations would be even harder to prevent. I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
The Texas House gave initial approval Monday to a bill that would create a statewide active shooter protocol as a response to the 2022 Robb Elementary School shooting. Texas Public Radio's Marian Navarro has the details.
The Uvalde Strong Act was introduced by Uvalde's former mayor, State Representative Don McLaughlin. The bill would require standardized active shooter response policies and enhance incident command training and mutual aid agreements between agencies. Nearly 400 law enforcement officers waited more than an hour to confront the Uvalde gunman who killed 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary. The Department of Justice said the botched response resulted from cascading failures of leadership. I'm Marian Navarro in San Antonio.
Texans can no longer buy lottery tickets through third-party courier services. That's after the Texas Lottery Commission voted yesterday to ban couriers in the state. The Texas Newsroom's Nina Banks reports that the unanimous vote comes after months of heightened scrutiny against the agency.
Courier services allow customers to purchase lotto tickets without stepping into a store. This has called into question the service's legality. Several investigations into jackpots won with tickets from couriers are currently pending. Governor Greg Abbott asked the Texas Rangers to lead those investigations in February. Mark Franz is one of the 4 Texas Lottery commissioners. Initially, he voted against the ban, but
weighing the evidence and all, I'm persuaded that this is the right move to go forward and that we should do the maximum amount allowable under our current statute.
Effective immediately, the Texas Lottery Commission has the power to revoke the license of any businesses still using these services. I'm Nina Banks in Austin.
Texas is being sued over the lack of air conditioning in its state prisons. Yesterday, the federal judge overseeing the case set the trial for next March. Texas Newsroom's Lauren McGaughy has more.
Jeff Edwards is representing the plaintiffs who sued, including state prison inmate Bernie Teed and a few criminal justice advocacy groups. He said he was surprised the trial's set for nearly a year from now, especially since a U.S. District Court judge already said he believes Texas conditions behind bars are unconstitutional. Edwards plans to request the judge move the trial to December. Even then, he said that means tens of thousands of people incarcerated in state prison will go through another Texas summer without AC. In 2023, the state acknowledged extreme heat behind bars may have contributed to at least 3 prisoner deaths. I'm Lauren McGaughy in Austin.
For the first time, Solid Waste Services, in partnership with RBFCU and Shred It, will offer paper shredding for Corpus Christi residents on May 10th, coinciding with their Litter Critter event. The Litter Critter Community Cleanup event will take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Veterans Memorial High School at 3750 Cimarron Boulevard. The shredding service is available from 9 a.m. to noon or until the shred container trucks reach full capacity. You can bring your confidential documents, including bank statements, payroll records, and credit card statements. The Litter Critter initiative provides residents with a convenient way to dispose of unwanted items outside of scheduled pickup dates. Residents should prepare to offload their items. Commercial hauling is not permitted. For more information, you can visit the city's Solid Waste Department website at corpuschristitx.gov. The Brownsville Animal Regulation and Care Center will participate in the Bissell Pet Foundation's Spring National Empty the Shelter initiative. From tomorrow through May 15th, the shelter will host a special reduced fee adoption event, giving the community a chance to provide loving homes to needy pets. During this 2-week event, dog adoptions will be free of charge, and cat adoptions will be available for just $20. The shelter is located at 416 FM 511 in Brownsville. For more information, call 956-544-7351. And in Rockport, Massachusetts, a neighborhood woodpecker is known to frequent the local woods, often drilling into dead trees, but he's taken on a new target: the car mirrors and windshields in town. Witnesses say the woodpecker stands at about 18 to 20 inches tall. It has a black and white body and a distinctive red head. That might as well be on a police report. The woodpecker has been caught on camera perching on cars and trucks and drilling into the side mirrors, leaving some cracked and others shattered. It's unclear if the woodpecker is working alone, but he is the talk of the town. Now neighbors are wrapping their car mirrors in trash bags and folding them in every day in hopes that they won't be the woodpecker's next target. Now that story is based out of Rockport, Massachusetts, but better safe than sorry, so excuse me while I go check my car. That is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.